Hey, how you doing there again, folks? Me again, of course, Brandon Wenzel. Come back at you, another offering off my sampler platter. Yes, indeed, folks, sampler review series videos I do for a little while. I go over there, try out food and drink items. I eat stuff, I drink stuff, then, folks, I'm going to talk about stuff. I'm going to let you know all that you need to know about hopefully delicious stuff that, time I'm doing this, folks, I'm not going to lie. I found this item like 2 weeks ago, chose not to buy it at the time, and then couldn't find it anywhere, and thankfully just found it recently. But we'll get to that. Folks, it's super simple format. I'm going to go over there, I'm going to try out food and or drink items for you. Whilst I'm doing so, I'll be yammering on about it for a bit. Whilst I'm doing all that, I'm inside my truck, and whilst I'm doing all that, folks, I'm wearing grody work clothes. Typically, when I'm inside the truck and I'm wearing grody work clothes, that means that I was on my way home from work and I found some shit to review for you. That is not the case today. I actually got this yesterday. But yeah, like I said, with this particular item, I went over there. I'd been out shopping a couple weeks ago, and I saw it, and in my head, it was like, oh, okay, you know, that's something I could potentially do for a review. But I was like, oh, you know, I got enough stuff, you know, sometimes you gotta abstain. And I ended up, you know, looking for it everywhere else, and I couldn't find it. But finally, literally just yesterday, what is it, folks? What am I reviewing for you today? It's boom! It's Takis, but Cobra flavored, with the power of the Cobra. Cobra Kai and the whole thing. You get the references. So yeah, man, this is, I guess, a new, like, limited edition flavor of Taki. Apparently, it is medium heat. That is, well, to be fair, it doesn't actually say heat, but it is a temperature thing, so let's, you know, we'll infer. But yeah, man, I figured, what the fuck. You know, I've reviewed a few Takis flavors on the channel, you know, over the years. I'm not the biggest Taki guy in the world, but... So, first and foremost, let's get a thing for the thing here. It looks like this. Ha 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 ha! Maybe it'll be better over there. I don't know. Ha 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 ha! But yeah, let's give it a go. Hopefully it tastes like real Cobra. Alright, now I have to mention this, and some people I'm sure are sick of it, but I don't care. Here's the thing. Here's the bag, right? I haven't taken a single thing out of the bag. Pretty big bag, right? Maybe even a little bit bigger than my big ass head. But this is how many chips I'm getting. Now granted, there's a lot of them at the ass end, but that's ridiculous. That's literally less than half the bag filled. I'm gonna keep bringing it up until we as a species call out the bullshit and make it change. Looks like this. Apparently, Cobra tastes like chili lemon. Yeah, it's just chili lemon. I guess the idea is the heat is more. I mean, it does give you a nice little kick in the ass at the end. It takes a little bit to get there, though. Like, it grows, the heat. But the flavor otherwise, like, and I'm almost certain, I'm not a Takis expert, but I'm almost certain that they have a chili lemon flavor. So I'm guessing this is just the hotter version of that, which is fine, but it doesn't feel befitting the mighty Cobra, you know, that it is displaying on the front. It feels like, you know, it should have done more with it than that. I don't know, that's disappointing. I mean, they're not bad for what they are, but, like, again, Takis, not my favorite snack in the world. And then on top of that, chili lemon as a flavor combination is very hit or miss for me. This one is hit-ish, you know. But I do like the flavor in terms of the quantity of the flavor. Like, that's one thing about Takis. And it's why I'm very here or there with them, because if you like the flavor, you're getting a lot of it. If you don't like the flavor, you're getting a lot of it. So, you're definitely getting a nice big oomph. If you've never had Takis, by, you know, certainly still possible. In terms of, like, the way they eat and, like, the texture and stuff, they remind me kind of Doritos. And, you know, just kind of like with Doritos, they have a lot of oomph to them. I'd honestly say they probably have more oomph than even Doritos do. It's more condensed with the flavor. But, yeah, it's just kind of an overall sort of, chili flavor with a little bit of a spice to it. And then there's just like an underlying current of like a lime flavor, like a citrus flavor. It's definitely lime. Then, once the chili kind of knocks off, that's where you get the biggest hit of the citrus, is kind of like right at the end. And then that's when the heat also kicks up the most. So, and it's kind of nice because, you get like the heat, and then you also get like the kind of acidity from the lime. So, it delivers a lot on what it is, but for me, the problem is what it isn't anything standout. Certainly isn't what I was hoping for. I don't know what the fuck I was hoping for when, what it was being called Cobra. But I was hoping it would be something better than just a slightly spicy chili lime flavor. But it's tasty enough. I'll definitely eat them. Again, I'll give them a certain amount of credit. Because when it comes to chili lime as a flavor combo, I'm very meh about it, Sometimes the way it's implemented I like, other ways I really don't like. By and large, it's not a flavor combo I go towards, though. But I'll give them credit with this. It is definitely more on the likable side than the unlikable side for me. So that doesn't really help you all that much, but maybe if your taste buds are somewhat similar to mine, you watch my reviews enough. Yeah, I think that these are fine. They don't underwhelm in the flavor in terms of the amount of flavor you're getting, but in terms of what I was hoping for versus what I actually got, that's where it kind of falls apart for me a little bit. But 2 questions have to be asked. Would I get them again? Would I recommend them? No, and sure, I guess. For me personally, even though I don't dislike them, these definitely are not a snack profile and flavor that work for me, like in a great capacity. I will gladly eat the rest of these and enjoy them, to some extent. But would I rather just have like, some fucking Doritos or some Fritos or something like that? Absolutely. Those just work better for me, and I like, the flavors that they have. But again, some of the Takis flavors I like quite a bit. But for me, especially with it just being a chili lime flavor, it's like, nah. So I wouldn't get these again. I was hopeful. The heat, I'll say this, the heat that you do get, I would say medium is a fair description. It is certainly, and I guess this goes more into the second part of it. Would I recommend it? Sure. They're not bad. If you like chili lime, sort of like tortilla-based chips, stuff like that, I think that these will definitely hit the way you want them to hit. They've got a nice flavor to them. You get a lot of the flavor. And then on top of that, you get the added potential bonus, depending on who you are, of that extra spicy kick. And in regards to spiciness, this is kind of what I was talking about before. They're not crazy spicy. They're enough to give your mouth a little heat, but not even enough to really kind of like kick you in the back of the throat or anything. I imagine if you ate a bunch of them in a row, it might cause a little bit of a stir. But, so it's one of those things where, they're spicy enough that if you're not into spicy things, I'd avoid them. But if you do like spicy stuff, I think that they'll do you. So, yeah, overall, they're a good snack. They're just not quite for me. But anyway, 5 things before I get out of here. Have yourself a great rest of your day, spectacular rest of the week, monumental rest of the month, stupendous rest of your year. Folks, go over there and have yourselves a truly Cobra-tastic rest of your life. But like actually like a Cobra thing, like the animal or the Kai or, you've been to zoos. I don't know that depends. I guess it would depend on the zoo. I was going to say, I don't think that there's like cobras at zoos typically. I have seen cobras on a couple of occasions. That's because my dad, the hobbies he was into when I was, growing up. Nothing nefarious. He was just really into snakes. But final 2 things. Number 1, try to bring some positivity into the world. It's not always possible. It is, however, always appreciated. But what you do if can't do all the time, I know I can't do all the time. Here's what you're going to do, folks. You're going to try not to be an asshole. Folks, not always the easiest thing in the world to not be an asshole. Trust me. I know it. I live it. I'm out there every day with you in it. Life can be stressful and frustrating and just bullshit sometimes, folks. When we find ourselves in situations where we have to deal with said bullshit, it's important we go over there whenever possible. take a step back, try to mitigate the level of assholishness in our lives, hopefully do better for ourselves and for those around us. Very final thing, folks, do the thing. Whatever the thing is for you, that's what I want you to go out and do. Folks, what's your personal opinion on Takis? Are they something that you're into? Or, I remember when they first started becoming like a regular snack, and, I was excited to try them, and I never, again, and there are certain flavors I'm willing to mess with, but other ones, I was never consistent with them. But I am interested, kind of other people's opinions. Obviously they're popular, otherwise they wouldn't still be making them, so, do you have a personal favorite flavor, or, just anything that you want to go over there, just whatever. Hey, if there's a flavor that I haven't reviewed of Takis that you'd like to hear my opinion on, feel free to go over there and make a request. Maybe I'll get it in. Bye.